Vlogging from a motel. Yeah.
When your hand accidentally brushed my upper thigh, a shiver went down my back and it felt like it peed out a butterfly.
Yeah, so you can probably see that I'm actually not in the motel anymore. But I just really like that footage of me dancing on the bed, so I kept it in there just because. So everybody, welcome to Swimming Owls. I'm Blair. I'm going to be doing videos on Monday. You'll meet everyone else later. I'm not going to do big introductions because those are just a waste of time. But I guess you're watching, so yeah, you found us. Good for you. We're going to have a theme. This week's theme is people that influenced your life that you only knew briefly. It's sort of like our pre-theme was personhood and what personhood is. I'm going to upload all those videos on here later if you want to go back and watch those. So I've always had this sort of social theory, I guess, where I like to present myself as a manila envelope. By that I mean I like to present myself as sort of a blank slate where you'll interpret what I have to say and you'll interpret my actual actions as opposed to interpreting some preconceived notion of how I should act based on what you've seen before from other people. I'd like for you to purely judge how I act based on me. Well, no, obviously this isn't possible in a sort of pure sense. I like to think that I get as close to that as I can. And as I was thinking of someone that influenced my life in a big way but I only met briefly, I think I sort of thought of where that ideology came from or where that was first inspired in me. And that was when I was in 6th grade. It was one of my friend's birthday parties. We were going to the skate park to go skateboarding or whatever. I was a skater kid in 6th grade. I know we all have our flaws, but we get over them. Anyways, the guy that picked us up was one of my friend's friends, and he picked us up in a short bus that he'd converted. He put a couch and bean bags in the back. And he was just a typical indie kid or whatever. He had a nice jeans and a button-down shirt, slightly oversized, untucked, whatever. Skater kid shoes, but he looked respectable and all. The security guard came up to him when he tried to pull the bus up and threw a little fit, and he was just sort of very calm, very relaxed. Said, "No, I'm just picking these kids up. It's fine." I got in the car. We all got in the car. We all got in the bus. It wasn't just me getting in the bus, but we sat down in the beanbags, whatever. He introduced himself. He talked to us on a personal level. He didn't look down on us because like little kids, even though we were a lot younger than him. He respected us as people. He put on music. The music he put on was Adam and His Package and the Dead Milkmen, who to today are still two of my all-time favorite bands, and I still listen to them both on a regular basis. Introduced me to them. And lastly, he was a vegan. Now, all these things, I think, had an impact on me later on, and especially the combined aspect that someone could do all these things together. That combined aspect of all those things, all these things together, while some of them had immediate impact on me, and some of them impacted me later on in life, and, a little bit of mix, it's not just clear separation there. Right after that, that's when I first really started getting into what I view now as really good music. Well, my musical taste has obviously evolved from the Dead Milkmen, and Adam and His Package is very sarcastic, irony-driven pop punk. It's that pushed me in the direction of a stranger version of music, more, I guess, weird type music, which I think was the start of a path that led me to the freak folk, indie folk, whatever you want to call the stuff I listen to now. And I think that was one big way he impacted me. The second way was he was a vegan, and from what I knew of vegetarians up until that point, I think we had a couple family friends who were vegetarians, but I always felt like they sort of did it for attention. But he really explained the reasons he was a vegan. I wasn't committed enough to become a vegan, but I stopped eating meat, not directly after that, but I think that's what sort of triggered in my mind that, it's not ridiculous to not want to eat meat, and, this cool indie kid that drives the school bus is doing it, so, it must be cool. But, those were relatively quick impacts that were made on me. But in the long run, what I really think stuck with me was that manila envelope type attitude, that looking very respectful, acting very respectful, being nice to everyone, but still pushing that social envelope, pushing the norms of society, and pushing for change that way. And I think to this day I strive to I strive to be that. I strive not necessarily to be like him. I mean, I always have different goals and different priorities. I don't even know what he's doing right now. It'd be interesting to find out. But I've adopted that attitude, and I think that's served me reasonably well in life, and I hope to continue to have that attitude. And what I really hope is that someday someone, maybe not be making a video about it, but maybe I'll influence someone in that same way.
Okay.